hot and cold for them. We're going to jump into the first game of Bosskur versus Evos SG. Straight away into the draft, already banned out Fossa, even though they are actually the first pick into the game. But I do know Evos or any Singaporean teams at that point, if you're fighting against them, it's best to ban out the mage heroes, including Selena.
Well, however, here I definitely agree as well. The double mage setup has been running around in the pubs for quite some time as well. Selena, Digi, Sylvana. However, for those of you watching at home here, do want to give you guys a friendly reminder. There are a couple of banned heroes in the FPL. It's going to be Sylvana, Freya, as well as I believe it was Zaz being taken out from the entire pool. So we're not going to be seeing these three particular heroes in addition to the current bans in this map here. So Cecilian being banned, Natalia, as well as the Cho here. So does Bosskur prioritize that first pick Uranus here? Let's see.
There's Carry, Uranus, and also Selena. These three, even Valer at that point, there's 4 picks that they can use. One of them will be taken by Carry here, Lazia. We do know when it comes to farming, Lazia is doing kind of a decent job or even pretty good at it. But when it comes to Evos, you're letting go Selena and also Uranus, yeah, especially Selena. We do know that I mentioned before, Singaporean teams, when it comes to, you know, burst damage hero like mage ones, you don't want to have that kind of OP or roaming heroes to decide because it's so hard to shut them down.
I definitely agree, and not to mention as well, the Camilla is still kind of in the pool as well. Same goes for the Link here. However, Evos SG, they can take a step back here, take a little bit breather and wait it out, considering that Bosskur has pretty much showed their strat here. They are most probably going to go for the hyper carry strategy, but I believe it's worked out for Team Bosskur in yesterday's games as well. Like the hyper carry was just ridiculous, hyper link as well. In this case, they're going to be prioritizing the Grok, so it's great here. But do you think it's going to be an off-lane Grok, or is it going to be a main tank Grok here coming from Bosskur?
Or is it going to be if it's played by Jab, probably just going to be for tank here because we do know he loves to initiate into the walls instead of going for farming. But at the same time, they have a lot of options to go for off lanes if they want to. Apparently, Joy is one of the best ones, but they'll be taken up by Evos. Also, Evos take a lot of lane heroes which can multi-roll into tank, including that Uranus. So if they are kind of running out of options for Bosskur, maybe that Grok will be forced into off lane. We're gonna have to wait and see.
If to me this is gonna be a hyper cloud here, so Link is gonna be completely ignored for both these teams here. No reason to ban that here, but in the mage department, there's still heroes like the Nana, there's still Camilla, there's still the Digi. Surprising enough, not first phase ban here. You talked about the Digi. But like you called it as well earlier on, you did say Selena being prioritized here. So Bosskur will respect the power of Selena coming from Evos SG, taking it away from them. Evos SG here, they have to figure out what are they playing here from Team Bosskur. Nana is still in the pool, but do you think they will actually pick it here? Xbox as well, I believe yesterday Resurgence did ban, sorry, I think it was Siren Clan that banned Xbox against Bosskur. Okay, so it's going to be Xbox after all.
Yeah, but obviously they're gonna ban out Xbox. One of the reasons they don't have their off laner yet. But Leoma is always out in the open. Is always an option, or one of the good options out there for the off laners. While we're looking at Bosskur, I'm not sure where they're gonna go with this carry just yet. Maybe a hyper carry, just like how Evo's gonna play this. But at the same time, they can actually go for side lane too if they want to actually go for, silence carry. I do want to mention about Atlas. Yesterday I've seen a lot of Resurgence playing Atlas games, which is really, really good hero if you can combo, like for example, Blazing Duet coming out of Claude. But at the same time, to actually land the Fatal Links or the ultimate down from Atlas is kind of hard. Because you know how many heroes, especially if you have Volley on that side, he can just easily Saring Torrent knock you back away whenever you jump in. Because there's a little bit of casting delay to open up the ultimate coming out from Atlas.
I definitely agree here. I was expecting, like you said, to go for the Leomon here, but Tamos is going to be an alternative here to deal with the split push potential against Uranus. One of the very few heroes that can actually do exactly what Uranus do, which is just buy time, split push, pull off a little bit of aggression from wrestle lanes to try and get objectives here. But I definitely agree with your point as well yesterday that carry is great for dealing against the Uranus here. In terms of mage department, they have the Esmeralda as well. which kind of prevents Evos from actually playing the Aegis up on the Uranus build here. So it's great for Esmeralda, who scales really well to deal with the Uranus. So, however, based on the drafts here, final pick, Nana.
Nana, well, you want Nana, they gave you Nana, but at the same time, I do have to like that Timus pick. We've seen a lot of Timus played with Vengeance before, and that's almost impossible if you open up Vengeance at the same time just going for Inferno. There's no way to take him down. But before that, we're gonna see these two teams, how they're gonna roast each other out in this hot video coming up for you. Sino is kind of angry with that statement. That coming up one of the smallest player, but one of the most fearsome in that lineup. We're talking about Sino used to be one of the best global players out there. But there you go, that Tom video, very interesting.
Yeah, one of the best Cho players in back in the days as well. But seeing how the game has just started as well, we see Bosskur going with Evos SG right off the bat. Game number 1, they're gonna be prioritizing the cloud here with a little bit hyper cloud strategy coming from Evos SG. Same goes for Bosskur as well, gonna be prioritizing on the hyper carry strat here. But on the map as well, you can see Evos SG, they're having the jaw hit as well as Uranus already cutting the lanes here from Bosskur, whereas Bosskur, they're still fixated in splitting down 5 men here. Seems to me they want to take this blue buff away from this cloud.
Well, they can contest it, but at the same time, it's kind of a risky move. We've seen it before where Bosskukar did kind of make the same mistake twice in a row previous days where they failed to acquire that buff. But now they didn't make the same mistake. They are not that confident when it comes to going in just now looking at how many people around the blue buff by Evos SG. So they go for a return. Nice call because, yes, well, the previous days they did that mistake where they were a bit overstayed themselves there, and that just snowballed them into a really chaotic mess. But back to the rest of Bosskukar trying to snatch away the top buff. There's only 2 people now going for 4. It's 4v4 on top of the rest of the team. Evos will be forced to retreat with that reset on buff. Will they still wait for Bosskur right now?
Very nicely done here, coming from Bosskur here, prioritizing their hyper carry here, going a little bit aggressive. They know Evos SG wants that hyper club available, so they're going to be applying pressure on this red buff. However, Bosskur, they're already split up here. They're going to be leaving Japs all by himself here. He's going to try and make the steal here, and Evos SG, oh, they get it, can he get it? And Japs steals the red buff, runs it off, and Evos SG, I don't think he can contest this here, so is there, and he's going to go for a side block, game for TPL. Can Japs survive this? He's going to go make a run for it, force up, pops the place, do it, won't pick up the Mother instead, and Jess, he makes it out alive with the red buff as well.
Well, he does have immunity on his side. We even Purify at a point. He have unstoppable immunity, if you ask me. That's how he got out from there. But that still was really a golden one. They are not that happy when it comes to Evos SG. But coming up from behind it, Zarki trying to open up Inferno. Will buy him more time? Zarki still survive. Managed to even get 1 kill at that. That's a lot of punishment. But at the same time, Forza still wants to secure that kill to trade it back to 0. But JPL, well, that's very interesting. I'm up from suddenly from going top and man, what happened?
Yeah, there's going to be a slight bug error here. JPL almost get paid with life jet. A little bit greedy there with the wall charge. However, you can see Evos SG, they're getting desperate from their play here. They saw bomb. They know that Cloud does not have the red buff available. They're going to go full aggressive. Fortunately for them, they did still get the kill onto a Zaraki earlier on. But Zaraki getting that earlier kill early on against Lun, that's not going to be the greatest pick off here. But Bosskukar, now they're going to be focusing on the turtle as well. And this is going to be a very, very hard-hitting hyper carry by that. Evos SG, they're going to be retaliating here. Zol going to be zoning out the rest of the members, and Bosskur is going to be in some trouble. We can finish her off. No, he does have the HP here.
Ooh. Still managed to get that kill. Darky coming out from behind, but the Tita will be slain by none other than Forza. The hyper carry will deal a lot of damage. At the same time, they will take that kill off by Sino with Esmeralda just now, but Laser kind of got caught in between and being the victim for the rest of the teams. Evos SG managed to get that turtle and 1 kill. While this is not a happy moment for Bosskukar, they are going aggressive, but didn't secure that turtle to make things even here. Kind of a little bit lost when it comes to the last wall, but Forza back to farming you go. We're looking at very, very fast farming Forza, trying to get all the cores as fast as he can. Look at that GPM coming up. 1,000 difference here between carry and also Forza at this point.
Yeah, definitely nicely done here from Evos as well. And I like the play there coming from Soul, disrupting the entire positioning of Bosskur as well, splitting him in two different fights. But hold that thought for now, because right now Zeno's getting focused down as well. Blazing Duet is there, and they will get a mega kill up on Forza. That's the kills that they need here. They need to rack up those bounty hunter, considering that they lost an early engagement against Bosskur. But now this is where Evos SG will start to snowball their way through. Jeff is all by himself. What he's gonna do? He needs to be careful. Buying a little bit time, it seems, here coming from Bosskukar.
Ancestor Gift is a really handy, hazard that you have on Grog's side, but Soul is a little bit overstated himself here. Look at how he just dived in a different base. I think he got the wrong place at a very wrong time, but still Soul trying to run away from this. We know Lexia is already farmed up here, and there you go, managed to get that kill. Well, if you cannot secure that one, I have to question what happened to Lexia, but still going for JPL. Kind of got blocked, still tossing with that link coming up from JPL, that ejection, sorry, with the jawhead. At the same time, they're trying to secure and defend their second tower on top for Bosskur. That's a little bit of massy coming out, a little bit of mass coming out from Evos SG. A little bit segregated and separated, but they won't make the mistake again for now.
Very nicely done there coming from Evos SG here. They lose Soul in the process, but they did the objectives here, which is cutting two creep waves. And you can see on the creep waves as well is pressuring the middle tower coming from Bosskur. This is going to be opening up for the turtle up for grabs coming from Evos SG, but seems to be they are going to be looking for kills here. Logan in the trouble as well. JPL catches him off, but they will be able to catch it off. Draw, he goes for the toss as well, and Logan is going to get focused down. Next is going to be Lexia. Lexia is going to be running for his life, but Soul is on full frontal assault, and it seems to be they've got what they're looking for. They killed the Valer, and now Turtle is going to be out for grabs.
Obviously, it's an open big opportunity and window here for Evos SG. They are not wasting more time. One of the things that I really like about the important teams is that they will never waste their time. Very disciplined, very consistent when it comes to objectives. They don't go for the kills. Mostly will go for the lanes or the objectives, including the turtle just now. But it will be another turtle respawning anytime. So 100 seconds to go. But jumping onto Evos, try to steal away the blue buff out of Bosskur's hands here. Easy for Jep trying to make it happen for the team to not actually get that steal buff, but it will stay under Forza's buff. We are looking at double buff there, but look at that. Sino trying to reverse things over, but that kind of got him punished. Instead, Forza really low, but the rest of JPL and Bambi buying him time, making sure that cores can go away and running from the last minute with Molina's gift. Bambi managed to survive that one. Now, is it worthwhile just now that I see Daddy one too? That what happened to Team Evos SG who lost a couple of members there?
Well, Evos Forza is not over yet because Forza comes in from behind as well, waited for the right moment and got himself a lot of the kills as well because Bosskur is a little bit overextending their stay here, and Evos SG, they were just waiting for those cooldowns here, but still, I wanted to point out there was a clutch moment here, and yes, to the point where you say what happened in that fight, it seemed went well for Bosskur was that Evos SG, they actually overcommitted that fight to try and take out Sino, and that clutch Purify from Sino gave him that movement speed enough to survive the blazing duet from Forza, kept him alive, forced Evos SG to bad position, but at the same time, Evos SG, they were able to salvage that fight so quickly, which was fantastic.
And Sino been playing that role very well. I'm talking about this Esmeralda as a taunt hero, as a bait, going at like just how they used to play with Cho, but now it's reversed for Esmeralda. No more a middle laner, but going for the supports or even the tank at this point. And so he got a little bit punished there by Logan, showing one by one that Fireball stunning a bit. But so if if Logan got himself that necklace, I don't think so want to stay or overstay himself way too long there, but at the same time, Boss being project quite a number of lanes here. All three lanes pushing into their base. How can they adapt to this?
This is gonna be a tough one here because considering that now Evos is stealing all the red and blue buffs away from Bosskur for this hyper carry to come online here. Cloud is gonna be able to quick clear so efficiently in Estig's fight as well as taking out the players coming from Bosskur. I feel like Bosskur, they just need to find a nice pick off here. In this case, they need to burst down one of the players or maybe even try and turtle themselves and buy a little bit more time for Sino to come up online. And I feel like that's going to be the game plan for Bosskur. But Evos SG, I think they understand the drafts coming from Bosskur and they will try and end this game as efficiently as they can.
The thing is about the lineup of Evos SG, it's so hard for Bosskur to take anybody out or even getting a peek of it at this point. But looking at Bambi with the Nana, with that passive Molina gift, there's no way you can finish her off straight away. And there's also Forza who's apparently very hard to lock him down. They don't have 100% CT on the side of Bosskur, only a couple of knocks and delayed. There's chances down to stun, but still managed to get that kill. Mistake being made, but at the same time, they are actually return back that favor coming out from Evos SG. Unstoppable, and the damage output is really a pain in the neck there. Soul diving into that base even, and Forza trying to get more kills out of Logan there. Didn't manage to wipe the whole team out because Logan will be the only sole survivor for Bosskur right now, trying to defend this base by himself. He has to actually stand for another 10 seconds until Jack will be revived as well as Sino there.
Yeah, nicely done there, and at the same time, Logan is going to be the last one standing trying to defend against this here. Very fantastic defending, but the blazing duet from Forza. Ridiculous amount of damage here. Japs tries to go for the kill, however, seems to me they can't kill off this buff. Here comes Esmeralda, Vito trying to finish off the tank as well, but it seems to me they don't have to follow up, but Japs will take down Forza in this process, but in the process they lose 2 towers, and also they're barely hanging on to lives here, but now Evos SG, they need to take leader. They've lost Forza, back off, wait for the Lord, and then potentially go for the next fight here. And it seems to me Soul is not gonna let Bosskukar have the radio here. He's gonna continue pushing out the lanes here, preventing Bosskukar from exiting their base. However, on the top side here, Tino gets picked off instead.
Overstaying himself again, trying to chase that one out of Bambi, and also none other than Lun. But he overstayed himself, like I said, but now bottom valve will be jeopardized for Team Bosskur here. They're trying to secure the buff for Lazia, but at the same time, wait a minute to get that buff finally. But at the same time, we're talking about Evos being not even a scratch on their body. We're looking at the HP of Uranus played by Soul here. Not even 1% HP down. Look at that build coming out from the side of Evos SG, and both a lot of blade mail, but at the same time, they're trying to just counter that blaze in the wet with the blade mail, but will it be enough? We're talking about a little bit lack of damage on the side of Bosskur.
Definitely, I definitely agree they're lacking in terms of damage as well. Not to mention Zaraki doesn't exactly have a strong burst here. He's super tanky, but like I said here, Team Bosskur, they're playing the late game. However, Soul get focused down as well. Here comes Dino, is going to try and go for the chase. So far, the ultimate here, and this Uranus moving too quickly, and space created for them to actually take the Lord as well up top, because right now Jeff is going to get focused down, and he will pay with his life here. Bosskur, that was a very valiant attempt here, because right now the Lord is going to be pushing down from the middle side. Forza having both the blue buff and the red buff. I'm not sure how they're going to be defended here, but Bosskur, they have to go all out now, because why, they might be losing this first game in this series.
Oh, and Lord already marching in with the rest of the team Evos SG. That we're looking at mid lane will be very heavily crowded with minions, super big minions at that. Also, the rest of Evos SG try to finish this game off, and Lin tossing ejection there, and that's a straight kill coming out from Thanos, and next one will be down none other than Logan with volley. But Laser try to hold this one in. Jab wall charge away, but that's not gonna be enough because Evos SG just win this with a very solid 1-0 for now. That's a fast game coming out of Evos SG.